You haven't known tired until you spent 10 years wood framing apartment complexes. It's loud, it's dangerous, and it's a constant battle against the elements. But for me, the hardest part isn't the 50-pound tool belt or the 100-degree heat, it's the politics. In this industry, as a woman, you live on a razor's edge. If I stand up for myself, I'm difficult or a bitch. If I let things slide, I'm a doormat. I've learned to navigate the boys' club by being the most organized person on the site. I'm the one who gathers the stray ladders, the one who keeps the workspace clean, and the one who moves the project forward while everyone else is complaining about their hangovers. We were working on a massive multifamily unit. The way framing works, you move in one direction and upward. As we finish a floor, gear gets left behind like driftwood. To keep things efficient, I spent my morning collecting every stray ladder on the site. I organized them by size, 4-footers, 6-footers, 8-footers, a perfect shining rows of aluminum on one side of the room. It was a service to everyone. I grabbed my 6-foot ladder and my framing nailer. I was ready to kill it. But then I realized I was out of nails. 5 flights, no elevator. I had to hike down to the Connex, grab 3 10-pound boxes of galvanized nails, and haul them back up. My thighs were burning, my lungs were screaming, but I made it back to my station. And that's when I saw it. Or rather, I didn't see it. My ladder was gone. I looked around. There was Dave. He was using my ladder, the one I had specifically staged with my gear. And the kicker, the pile of 15 other ladders I just organized was less than 20 feet away from him. I felt that familiar heat rise in my chest, that here we go again feeling. I walked over, trying to keep my voice level. "Hey, Dave," I said. "That's my ladder. I was literally just using it." Dave didn't even look down at me. He just kept hammering. "Found it sitting here," he muttered. "It's a job site, sweetheart. Use one of the ones in the pile." I stared at him, stunned. "Dave, I made that pile. I just hauled 30 pounds of nails up 5 flights of stairs. You walked past 15 ladders to take the one that was clearly in use. Why?" He finally stopped, shrugged his shoulders with a smirk that made my skin crawl, and said, "Why can't you just go grab another one then, since you're so good at organizing them?" It wasn't about the ladder, it was the principle. If I had walked over and snatched a ladder from under him, the entire crew would have chewed my head off. I would have been emotional or unprofessional. But when he did it to me, it was just a joke. He expected me to take it on the chin. Fine, if he wanted to play with tools, I'd show him how a professional handles them. I didn't yell, I didn't complain to the foreman. I just went and grabbed another ladder from my pile, finished my section, and waited. Break time rolled around. The site went silent as the crew headed to their trucks or the shaded break area. I didn't go to my truck. I slipped into the porta potty and waited. I watched through the vent until I saw Dave drop his tool pouch, his heavy-duty leather waist belt, on the subfloor near his station and head down for lunch. Visual, slow, tense music, the sound of heavy footsteps on plywood. Narrator. I stepped out. The floor was empty, just me, the sawdust, and Dave's tool pouch. I didn't want to damage his gear, I'm a professional after all, but Dave's pouch had these beautiful, heavy-duty steel ringlets and pre-punched holes for suspenders and hammer loops. It was almost like they were designed to be anchored. I grabbed my framing nailer. Thwack! I drove a 4-inch galvanized nail through the first ringlet, deep into the 2x10 joist below. Then I reached into my pouch for the big guns, lags, massive 8-inch structural screws with coarse threads designed to hold buildings together. I took a 6-inch lag and drove it through the leather belt loop, then another 8-inch lag through the back of the hammer hook. I didn't just drive them in, I used my hammer to bend the heads over, hooking the steel around the leather. You can't just pull an 8-inch lag out of a structural joist. You need a high-torque impact driver and a lot of patience. And since I'd bent the heads over, a socket wouldn't even fit. He was going to have to perform surgery on the floor of an apartment complex just to get his hammer back. I finished the job, tucked my tools away, and went to my truck to eat my sandwich in total blissful silence. I went back to work on the other side of the room. I didn't look at him. I just listened. I heard the muffled grunt of him trying to pick up his bag, then a confused "what the?" followed by the sound of boots kicking at something. Then silence, a long, heavy silence. Dave didn't say a word. He couldn't. What was he going to say? Someone nailed my bag to the floor because I was a jerk earlier? If he complained, he'd have to admit why I did it. He'd have to admit a girl outmaneuvered him. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him hunched over, sweating, trying to pry at the bent lags with a crowbar. It took him 45 minutes of his own billable time to get that pouch free. The best part? The other 12 guys on the crew saw him struggling. Nobody helped. In the trades, everyone knows, if someone nails your gear down, you probably earned it. Dave never touched my gear again. In fact, he barely looked at me for the rest of the project. Sometimes you don't need to scream to be heard. You just need a few 8-inch lags and a little bit of structural engineering. Justice isn't always blind. Sometimes it's just galvanized. If you enjoyed seeing a workplace bully get bolted down to reality, make sure to smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Have you ever had a coworker who thought they were above the rules? How did you handle it? Let me know your best revenge stories in the comments below. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe for more satisfying stories, and I'll see you in the next one.